Hi, I'm Pete Lyden. I'm the founder of Next Agenda. I'm here in Cambridge, England, the University of Cambridge, King's College here for the beginning of a really amazing conference of about 200 top economists from all over the world. They're launching a new institute called the Institute of New Economic Thinking. This is a new institute that's been backed by George Soros to actually empower the next generation of economists to really fundamentally rethink economic theory, economic policy for the 21st century. We've been hired here to come and cover this conference in our new immersive way of video journalism. And we're going to basically open up this whole conference so that people far from Cambridge today are going to be able to partake in this really historic moment.
This is the first conference ever to bring together the leading lights from the economics profession with policymakers and with historians of economic thought.
Look, one of the things we're doing here is we are covering the entire program from the very beginning of the conference to the very end. We do this with a 3-camera shoot. It's not just a one camera in the back that kind of covers it like C-SPAN. This is actually covering it very much live in that you've got different angles of the crowd, different angles of the stage there, and it's actually live switched by a director.
A new economic thinking is needed to ensure that in our response to the financial crisis, we are adequately radical, addressing the fundamental drivers of instability, not just the symptoms.
A lot of what's going on at this inaugural conference is what's taking not just on the official stage, but in fact in the conversations in the hall, the networking, the new relationships. That's what Next Agenda captures, the spirit as well as the official program.
What we're going to do now is we're going to pop in on interview in progress in the room here. Give you a little sense of what we do.
This is a time of real soul searching.
Rob.
Yeah.
Yes, Peter.
What are you doing?
A one cameraman, 2 camera interview. We've been doing them for a couple of days with some of the best economic minds in the world, I guess, at this point.
INET's mission of helping support the next generation of innovative economists is hugely important.
The basic idea of this room is to give a quiet moment to sit and in a conversation as we look to each other. You can say and interact in very different ways. You get a different voice and explore some of the notions deeper.
To have exchange of ideas through the web and using new media to sort of connect scholars that are working on complementary disciplines, I think would be really useful. The future of research in economics is interdisciplinary, and the only way to foster that is through conversation.
One of the key innovations of Next Agenda is that we actually want to make sure that the shooters are also editors, and so they think like producers, and so you have collapsed really 3 functions into one. And that really is dependent on a new breed of journalists, a video journalist you can think of them as, and that's best embodied by Nick. So Nick, why don't you tell them how you do what you do?
With pleasure. So I am a video journalist, and basically the way that I work is I have a super lightweight camera. It shoots on SD cards, very easy to ingest into a computer, and basically because I shoot, edit, produce, direct, I'm also in front of the camera. Basically, since I do everything, I understand every role that needs to be done. So I know that when I'm shooting, what needs to be done to editing, which makes the edit faster, which means that the turnaround on any pieces can be remarkably fast.
Among those that have to take blame for the crisis is the economics profession. Not those here, but other economists who are not here.
One of the things about Next Agenda is we actually drop a mobile team into a conference area that is working 24/7 to actually capture the conference and get it out to you. Let's see how some of this works. Ben's executive producer. Ben, what's the kind of stuff that you're pulling together right now?
We're doing something that's pretty unique in that we're trying to capture as much of the conference material as possible so we can get it back onto the web as quickly as possible. And this is the team that's doing that.
Sunil, tell us what you're doing, man.
We're making edits so that we can put up some of these presentations online immediately, basically the next day, which is pretty remarkable considering, normally it takes like a couple weeks, to get that up.
It's true that capitalism does work, but unfortunately, capitalism sometimes works all too well, and then it also has to be curbed.
Tell us what you're doing, Matt.
So we got our new INET website that we just launched a couple days ago, and so we're taking the edits that Sunil and I are doing, and then we're getting them in these players and getting them out to the world as fast as we can.
We really have to rethink our view of the financial markets quite profoundly, and that applies to market participants and regulators and social scientists alike.
No matter what the meeting, no matter what the conference, in the end, they all land. But with the Next Agenda way of doing things, the meeting doesn't have to end, the relationships don't have to stop. In fact, they just are beginning. We use next generation web collaboration, we use this new platform of Google Wave to not just discuss things, but actually build on things. This is what Next Agenda can do for you. This is what we're all about. So if you want to know more about what we can do for you, go check out nextagenda.com or just Google it as Next Agenda. We'd love to work with you.